Hey, we back. I'm here on Karuta once again, just continuing with the streak of Karuta videos for now, because why not? There's a bunch of content here to go over, and one of those contents that we have not gone over yet is the black market here. Black market, I think, was briefly mentioned in maybe the dust video or something like that. I can't remember. I definitely mentioned it at some point, so you probably recognise it. Of course, you probably recognise it anyway if you've been using the bot at all. But yeah, the black market exists. KBM, which is short for K Black Market, you're going to give you this little interface here, and this is basically where you can buy some cards. Now, the black market, if you use it well, can be pretty helpful. You do have to pay attention to it to use it well. And it's going to take a bit of saving up in order to actually buy anything on it. But yeah, it can be pretty good if you're doing it correctly. So, what's it all about? Well, as you can see here, we have 10 cards. I can click on them; you can see them a bit better. In general, you will find the better cards on the top half. That doesn't normally doesn't always apply. Sorry, especially ones with like frames and dies, such as this one here. You'll normally find those on the top half, and this will just generally contain good cards, some with high wish lists, some with low prints, maybe a mixture of the two. As you can see, we've got like a 76 here, and then equally we've got people like Megumin with maybe a couple thousand wish lists or whatever, right? So there's some good cards here, right? And you can buy them if you want. Now, where do these cards come from? All these cards come from players that have been blacklisted from the bot. You know, they're naughty boys and girls that were botting or something, broke all the rules, got themselves banned, and then their cards will appear here eventually, maybe, sometimes. I don't know, I'm still waiting for now E3 print number 1 to appear on the black market, because that guy got banned apparently. One day it might happen. But yeah, so 10 cards, and the black market will refresh every 5 hours. So yeah, a lot of cards go past on here pretty quickly. Obviously, a lot of people get banned. You will see 5 of them up here. Current times left is 2 hours. So in another 2 hours it will refresh and we will get 10 more cards. You probably are not going to be checking this every 5 hours. The more often you check it, of course, the more likely you'll see something you want. So if you do want to be serious about going for black market stuff, you do want to be checking it regularly. There is a channel on the official server down here, which I believe I have open. There you go, the black market channel, which you can follow if you want. You can add it to one of your own channels, ping for it or whatever. And then you'll at least get updates on when the black market is going down, which might help you out if you want to go for that kind of stuff. But yeah, there you go, black market buying cards. Now you may notice that there's only 5 cards here. There's a little button at the bottom. I'm going to run the command again, press the little button. As you can see, there's the next 5, and now we're going to be talking about the difference. So you probably noticed that these top 5 you buy in gems. Gems, of course, being the premium currency. You can buy that with K gems or buy it from other people. I believe the exchange rate is about 20 gems to 1 ticket at the moment. However, the next 5 are bought with damaged dust. Yes, damaged dust specifically. This is one of the main uses of damaged dust. You can also use it in backgrounds and stuff like that, and I think we've talked about it before. But yeah, damaged dust can be used in the black market here to buy the bottom cards. This is probably the reason why the top ones are normally better, but like I say, it does depend. Anyway, yes, damaged dust, as you can see, making itself pretty valuable here because you can get quite a few good cards with it. Now, I believe the exchange rate on damaged dust tickets is 30 damaged dust to 1 ticket or something like that at the moment. 30 or 40, something like that, because of course getting damaged dust yourself takes a long time. You have to burn your cards, you have to be claiming a lot of random cards in order to get the damaged dust, burning them, and then even then you're going to have to be pretty lucky to get a damaged dust in the first place, because actually getting a card drop as damage, pretty unlikely. So if you again want to go for this seriously, you may want to be buying some damaged dust in a trading market or something like that for tickets or whatever your preferred currency may be. Especially if you see something pop up in the bottom that you particularly want to buy. Now, as for the prices, this is an auction. As you can imagine, it says how much is bid by which person here, and you can outbid them if you like. If you want to bid on a card, you're going to want to do, funnily enough, K bid. So I'm going to run K help bid there, and you can see how to do it. You put the letter you want to bid on and the amount that you want to bid on. Now you can probably guess you can only bid damage dust on the bottom and only gems on the top. So there's no exchanging of the resources there. So it's going to know what currency you're meaning to put in when you put the right letter down. Now, I said that this can be a pretty good way of getting some cards, and that's because people on the black market honestly are kind of weird and wacky sometimes. If we look at this one, for example, we have here this Illumi Zoldyck. I haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, so I don't know who this guy is, but he's probably reasonably popular. He's probably got some wish lists, and here he has a nice frame. I don't know which frame that is, but it looks pretty fancy to me. It's probably not bit frame. I may be wrong though. And you can tell by the glow around the outside that this is a mystic die. So if you know this character and you like the look of the card, this is a really good card to get because it comes with the frame and the mystic die. Not to mention that as an edition 1, a print number of 1,500 is pretty low. So this is a pretty nice card to get. On the other hand, it's currently being sold at 680 gems, which really isn't all that much. Normally to rent a mystic die would cost you about that much by itself, and so now you're managing to get the card, the frame and the mystic die, and probably a morph as well, all in together for that price. This makes it a pretty good deal. Now of course, if you're not a huge fan of the character, if you just want to use the dies and frames for like using on the swap orb, that's also an option. So realistically, if you like the look of this card, bid on it. Good deal. The price will probably go up, to be fair. But if we compare this to number E here, which is this Port Gas D Ace from One Piece, who has probably a similar number of wish lists. Again, I'm not entirely sure, but he'll have a reasonable number of wish lists, I'm sure. It's pretty similar print number. It's just this time he doesn't have the frame and the mystic die, and yet he is selling at 1,500 gems. I honestly would doubt that he's worth anywhere near that. So yeah, some people are going to bid weird amounts and weird things. This is what happens when you get an auction though, of course. I know, for instance, that if the now did ever crop up here that I mentioned at the start of the video, I would heavily overpay for it. So there's obviously other people out there doing the same, and you may be competing with them. This is why I say that if you want to realistically get something that you want on the black market, you're gonna have to be paying attention, not just paying attention to the auction itself when the card crops up, but simply to make sure that you notice it. And if you notice it as well as someone else and it ends up going for 1,500 gems and you're not happy with it, you just have to keep waiting for another one, because thankfully there are a lot of these cards that go past, and I don't know about these ones in particular, but I know that duplicate cards will be going past on the black market frequently, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But that being said, like I say, if you find a good deal like this one here, you buy it for a nice price, you're very happy with it, then it can be pretty stonks, and overall is going to save you a lot more money than buying all the components separately. So that's nice. All in all, I would recommend taking a look at the black market, at least every now and again, just to see what's on there, see if you get lucky, especially if you're looking out for something particular, maybe something particularly old. If you want some low print numbers of some edition 1 cards or something, this is a pretty good way to get those. And if you do see that someone that owns something you want gets blacklisted from the bot, especially pay close attention to the black market, because it may pop up here. Anyway, I think that's pretty much everything that I had to say, so I'm going to leave this video here. Bye!